Hey, good morning, people from the bushveld. It's lovely and cold here. It's been beautiful in the early mornings, but it's good to be with you today. We're talking about Matthew chapter 5. We're talking specifically about the Beatitude that says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst." Hunger and thirsting is a natural phenomena. If you weren't hungry and thirsting, you'd be dead. But for people, this is a hungering and thirsting, not for food or ambition or power. It's a hungering and thirsting after God, because God is the source of righteousness. Now, when we look at this, I want to suggest to you that not only is this an exclusive desire, as we said the other day, not only is it an extreme desire that you'll give up anything to have this, but it's also an enduring and ever-growing desire. It gets better and better. And the more and more of God that you get to experience, the more of Him that you get to know, it's an insatiable thing. And you become totally almost, can I use the word, addicted to knowing more of Him and experiencing the reality of His grace and His goodness. It's a journey. For Moses in the wilderness, it began at the burning bush, remember? And he experienced just a taste of God there. And he found that God hadn't forgotten him. He found that there was a God who was interested in his life. He suddenly realized that God had a purpose for his life. And so he embarks upon this journey. But it started there. And then he went to Pharaoh and he experienced the reality of God's power as he saw God demonstrate his power through the plagues. And Moses began to say, man, there's more of God. There's a whole bunch more of God than I thought. I thought God was just watching me from a distance, and I can understand that, but there's a whole lot more of God that I can experience. And then at the Red Sea, he experiences the wonder of God's provision for him, the power and the majesty of God opening the Red Sea. He gets across to the other side. He's blown away by the experience. He writes a magnificent song of praise to this God who's only just now finding the tip of the iceberg, that below the waterline, there's a whole bunch more of God to be experienced. And he continues his journey. He finds God to be a great provider. He finds God to be a great protector. But even though God does all of those things for him, it never takes away his exclusive and his enduring desire to know God himself. One day, Moses is totally overwhelmed with the wonder of who God is, and the power of God is seen in his life. And he says, Lord, this is just so cool. Just to know that you exist is one thing, but to have a personal relationship with you and to be able to speak to you, God, I just want to see you face to face. Can you just show me yourself? And God says, can't really do that because you'll probably die, but I can at least show you my glory. Come, let's meet up on the mountain. And God meets Moses on the mountain, and God says, I can't show you my face, but I will show you my back. And he makes this into almost a physical kind of a story. And as God exposes his back to Moses, Moses is satisfied with the glory of God. But even then, his satisfaction was not complete. He still wanted more and more and more of God. And you will only know as much of God and experience as much of God as you want. You want to limit yourself to a Sunday-only experience of God? Well, that's your deal. You can do that. If you just want to experience a little bit of God, maybe when you have a need and you're going to ask him for stuff and you expect him to do stuff for you, well, that's your deal as well. But God is saying, I'm not just here to meet your needs. I'm not just here to protect you, to provide for you. I'm here so that you can know me personally. And when we get to know God personally, righteousness follows. Out of the change of our mind comes a change of our behavior. As we change our mind about who God is and what he's like, and we experience him more and more, all of a sudden things begin to change in our lives. The issues that were so big to me a while back are not big to me anymore. The things that I used to think were so valuable and so important in my life, I find are not valuable and nearly as important as I thought they were, because my exclusive and my enduring desire to know God more has become somewhat overwhelming. I hope that we, as individuals, that we as a church, develop an insatiable desire for God. Can't be satisfied by anything else other than him. I hope that we desire an exclusiveness for him, that there's no substitute for him. I hope it becomes an extreme thing where we hate sin the way that we should because we desire his righteousness. I hope that it becomes an enduring thing for us as individuals and as a body and as a family of Christ. I really hope and I pray that it endures to help us, because we know that those who endure to the end, the Bible tells us, those are the ones who are going to be saved. And in our enduring, let's enjoy God. Let's enjoy Him, because there's always more and more and more of Him to be experienced and to be enjoyed. He's not some kind of commodity. I don't want you to think that. He is God, but He's a very personal God, and He wants to know us to a much deeper level. And I really hope that you and I find that. You people, go and have a great day. See you soon.